Solid waste management is the collection, transport, processing or disposal, managing and monitoring of waste materials. The term usually relates to materials produced by human activity, and the process is generally undertaken to reduce their effect on health. In the environment or aesthetics, waste management is a distinct practice from resource recovery which focuses on delaying the rate of consumption of natural resources. All waste materials, whether they are solid, liquid, gaseous, or radioactive, fall within the remit of waste management. Waste management practice can differ for developed and developing nations, for urban and rural areas, and for residential and industrial producers. Management of non-hazardous waste, residential and institutional waste in metropolitan areas is usually the responsibility of local government authorities, while management for non-hazardous commercial and industrial waste is usually responsibility of the generator subject to local, national, and international authorities.
What is the goal of solid waste management? Before I answer the question, let me discuss what is solid waste management. Solid waste management refers to the complete process of collecting, treating, and disposing of solid waste. Example of waste management is segregating waste to biodegradable and non-biodegradable, or segregating papers to cans and plastics. But what is really the main goal of a solid waste management? For me, its goal is to have a fresh and clean environment. Aside from that, it could minimize the pollution effects, and it could be protect our natural resources while saving money through recycling recyclable materials. So let us reuse and reduce the waste for a better future. That would be all. Thank you.
Methods of waste disposal. Garbage accumulation has never been much of a concern in the past, but due to globalization and industrialization, there is a need for a more efficient waste disposal method. Following are some of the methods that are used today. Landfill. In this process, the waste that cannot be reused or recycled are separated out and spread as a thin layer in low-lying areas across the city. Incineration. Incineration is the process of controlled combustion of garbage to reduce it to incombustible matter such as ash and waste gas. Waste compaction. The waste materials such as cans and plastic bottles are compacted into blocks and sent for recycling. Biogas generation. Biodegradable waste such as food items, animals waste or organic industrial waste from food packaging industries are sent to biodegradation plants. Composting. All organic materials decompose with time. Food scraps, yard waste, etc. make up for one of the major organic wastes we throw every day. Vermicomposting. Vermicomposting is the process of using worms for the degradation of organic matter into nutrient-rich manure. Worms consume and digest the organic matter. The byproducts of digestion, which are excreted out by the worms, make the soil nutrient-rich, thus enhancing the growth of bacteria and fungi. It is also far more effective than traditional decomposed or composting.
Here are the insights of solid waste management. It will protect your home from the risks associated with solid waste. Solid waste management in your community is essential. By properly disposing of the waste, you can safeguard not only the environment but also the people you love. Reuse, reduction, and recycling of waste are the three main goals of waste management. It also uses a variety of cutting-edge technologies for rubbish digestion, which reduce pollution. For instance, contemporary waste management break down trash using bacteria and line holes.
Solid waste management is a universal issue that matters to every single person in the world. And with over 90% of waste openly dumped or burned, In low-income countries, it is the poor and most vulnerable who are disproportionately affected. In recent years, landslides of waste dumps have buried homes and people under piles of waste, and it is the poorest who often live near waste dumps and power their cities' recycling system through waste picking, leaving them susceptible to serious health repercussions.
The fundamental objective of waste processing is to reduce the number of wastes through recycling and disposal of waste in a way not to impair environmental conservation. 4 Rs should be followed for waste management. These are innovative processes being developed and practiced for a long-range solution to the problem of solid waste disposal. The first R is to reduce. Part of throwing away less is buying less and being more mindful as a consumer. Reducing the amount of waste you produce is the best way to help the environment. The second R is to reuse. Instead of throwing things away, try to find ways to use them again. Before tossing out your trash, considering whether it can be repurposed as something else. The third R is to recycle. Recycle waste products for them to be processed into new materials. And the last R is refuse. Say no to single-use plastics like straws, coffee lids, plastic utensils, plastic bags, and most packaging.
There are different common methods in disposing solid waste. Number 1. Open dumping refers to uncovered areas that used to dump solid waste of all kinds. It is the breeding ground for flies, rats, and other insects that spread diseases. Number 2. River and ocean dumping. This is practice done by people living in near river banks and seashores. It is the main cause of water pollution.
One of the type of solid waste management is garbage. Residual vegetable or animal waste resulting from the handling, preparation, cooking, and eating of foods. They decompose rapidly. This is the sources: houses, hotels, meat, stalls, and many more.